For over 25 years, the Alaska Community Foundation has provided grants, scholarships, and assistance in establishing funds for several nonprofits in our community.
ACF continues to serve the state by being a place where people gather to share ideas and create change in our state.
The last 2 years have been a test of resilience and purpose for those we serve.
Though at times we have been daunted, thanks to the stability of Alaska's giving spirit, we have not been discouraged.
The Alaska Community Foundation is grateful for the support of the donors, partners, and volunteers that have helped our mission succeed.
Because of projects like AK Can Do, the Coronavirus Nonprofit Relief Fund, and the subsequent partnerships and opportunities that came from these projects, we have seen success like we've never imagined.
The Alaska Community Foundation has grown in ways we never thought possible.
In our growth, we had the chance to realize the level of support and connectivity that for over 2 decades, ACF staff and supporters have aspired to achieve.
This success is meant to be shared, and it has been the greatest reward to share with nonprofits across the state.
ACF's mission has never been more urgent, and with the support we received and the hard work of dedicated staff, we step confidently to the challenge and look forward to the future.
We thank all of you for your continued support.
Through the support of the Alaska Community Foundation, the Alaska Humanities Forum will be able to offer 2 public narrative workshops for our staff and community partners this summer. These workshops will inspire and enable systemic and meaningful change by building strong connections among people from across the state and giving them tangible and practical ways to offer these workshops by and for Alaskans into the future. Thank you, ACF, for helping us to connect Alaskans across stories, ideas, and experiences that change lives and strengthen communities.
From bare ground to a small cottage neighborhood of community land trust homes, the Alaska Community Foundation has helped the Sitka Community Land Trust $20,000 of support over the past 5 years, and we are very grateful.
Hello, our friends at the Alaska Community Foundation. We are so excited to continue our important work in Alaska with a generous $18,000 grant from the Alaska Community Foundation Social Justice Fund. We are so excited to engage with our partners and allies in hosting community education programs for adults in the community in Alaska this year and next year.
Our Safe Families for Children program was a recipient of the 2022 Social Justice Grant, which provides funding to organizations that are creatively finding ways to address root causes of social issues in our community and across the state. And part of this funding allowed our Safe Families program to provide almost 500 nights of respite for families in crisis across our state. And we are just so grateful for the Alaska Community Foundation and for the Social Justice Grant that helped us surround families in crisis with hospitality, compassion, and hope.
Hey, great friends at Alaska Community Foundation, Dr. Keith Hamilton here. Just a huge thank you for all that you have done for us over the years, but especially during this last grant period during COVID. You folks helped us to get our distance learning out and going for the first time and last time in our history, I would imagine. It just all worked out great, and it's because of foundations like yours that make that happen. So from all of us here at Alaska Christian College and the 100 Alaska Native young people who attend here, we say Kuiana Teku, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. For those able to donate, please scan one of the QR codes and give to one of the funds listed. Your support is invaluable and greatly appreciated.
We are very thankful to the Alaska Community Foundation for their generous basic needs grant that we received in March of 2020 when COVID hit our community. We received a $2,500 grant, which we were able to use to provide groceries, toiletries, and other basic essentials that were needed in our community. We served 53 households in just 2 months. So we are very gracious and thankful that the Alaska Community Foundation has given so much to the state of Alaska and has chosen Love in Action to provide a grant to. So thank you. We appreciate all that you do in our state.
A big thanks to Alaska Community Foundation for their support of Alaska Trails and our efforts to bring more and better trails to Alaska throughout the years. For over a decade, the Alaska Community Foundation has supported our work, giving us strengthening organization grants to do things like a strategic plan or a donor development plan. Most recently, we've established our Alaska Long Trail Fund at the Alaska Community Foundation. We're really grateful, and we're looking forward to the decades to come and more great projects and possibilities. Thanks again.
Hey friends from the University of Alaska Anchorage. I'm Kylie, a Seawolf gymnastics athlete. This spring I earned my bachelor's degree in economics with honors. The UAA Class of 2022 represents perseverance and strength. With your help, we're future business leaders, engineers, healthcare workers, and more. Thank you to the Alaska Community Foundation for investing in our lives and careers. Go ACF and go Seawolves.
The Alaska Community Foundation grant helped the Native Village of Eyak modify our Mikwinwasak culture camp during the COVID-19 pandemic. We served 39 tribal youth, and they all got take-home activity kits. At the end of camp, they shared with our elders, and here are some comments of what the parents thought about camp. My husband and I are really excited to have supplies for each kid and cannot wait for sunny summer weather to get started. The kits are so awesome, so very grateful for this. What a ton of wonderful resources you guys gifted. It is absolutely amazing, and she is excited about it all.
We'd really like to thank everyone at Alaska Community Foundation for awarding us with the Social Justice Grant. This grant will allow our refugee entrepreneurs in our FIG cooperative program to continue to work together, growing vegetables, making products like our spice blends and chai blossom vinegar to support our cooperative program. Thank you so much, Alaska Community Foundation.
Hi, my name is Claire Lepke. I am the program director at St. Francis House Food Pantry at Catholic Social Services. I wanted to take a few moments to thank the Alaska Community Foundation for your support of our modular food pantry. The modular food pantry allowed us to operate as a drive-through during the pandemic and indefinitely into the future.
Thank you so much for joining us today. For those able to donate, please scan one of the QR codes and give to one of the funds listed. Your support is invaluable and greatly appreciated.
We got so much left to do in this world, just me and you. So hold on, we're leaving soon. River of love gone to the sea, the water rippling endlessly. So please take my hand and be with me. Here with me. Oh, a new beginning is in bloom. Here with me.
Thank you, Alaska Community Foundation. Marcia Howell here from Center for Safe Alaskans, and I want to thank you for the funding that's allowing us to develop a business plan with the help of 4Acre Group to make sure that the good work that we do with youth, adults, across the state, within Anchorage, continues to grow and continues to be sustainable. Thanks.
At Alaska Seeds of Change, we support youth to meet their basic needs, access mental health resources, and to develop job skills, all while working with plants and growing food. We're very thankful to the support provided by ACF for our development of the individual donor program we run. So thank you, ACF, in supporting Alaska Seeds of Change and supporting the youth of Anchorage.
We're thrilled to be with you today to celebrate philanthropy and all that it makes possible across Alaska. At the United Way, we bring together caring people from across our community to give, volunteer, and take action. One of the ongoing projects funded by the Alaska Community Foundation that continues to have huge impacts across Anchorage is the Restaurant and Hunger Relief Program. This triple win program brings needed revenue to local restaurants, keeps workers on the job, and provides welcome meals to underserved and food insecure children, seniors, families, and individuals. These meals and jobs are building blocks for a good quality of life and a strong community.
It helps, it forces me to be able to work. And then their campfire is so flexible with the morning program and then the afternoon program. And that's very, very helpful, especially being a single parent and I need to work.
For the parents, it was a safe place for their children to go where they knew they'd be taken care of and they could do the job of parenting. And I will never forget that they came and stood next to me through a really hard time and provided food, shelter, safety for an entire group of my children. So I'm a fan for life.
Thank you so much for joining us today. For those able to donate, please scan one of the QR codes and give to one of the funds listed. Your support is invaluable and greatly appreciated.
On behalf of our board and organization, I'd like to say Gunesh Chish to the Alaska Community Foundation for the funding and the lifeline that's gotten us through the COVID-19 pandemic. The funding from Alaska Community Foundation has impacted our organization and our communities in so many ways.
It has given them hope to be able to know that their youth are being taken care of and taken serious as emerging leaders in our community.
This funding has been instrumental in all of those components, from ensuring that our staff can work through this pandemic and offer culturally appropriate education to having multiple youth cultural programs throughout this pandemic and doing it in a very safe way. It's expensive to have 50, 60 youth overnight at a culture camp. And through these funds, we were able to have people get together in a safe way with zero incidents of COVID. And so we're so grateful to keep our staff working, to keep our culture alive.
Everything that these grants provide give our youth the opportunity to hold their heads up and understand that who they are and where they come from matter. For that, we say, Gunesh Chish, without you, this is not possible.
Can you say hi, Matt? I wanted to say a huge thank you to the Alaska Community Foundation for the grant financials that we recently received. We've been able to do some major improvements in the education department, and I'm currently working on upgrading our distance ed equipment to broadcast the Alaska Zoo internationally.
Thank you for your generosity, the Alaska Community Foundation. We are so grateful. Through your generosity, we've been able to update our technology here in the classroom and more efficiently educate our community and these students on our amazing wildlife.
We want to give a big thank you to the Alaska Community Foundation grant for helping us sustain our camps and offering dual camps this summer season. we've been able to expand and make that happen, which makes our community members very happy, and we are just super grateful and super thankful.
We're Haines Hudson Trails in Haines, Alaska. We're working to build public use cabins and trails in our region that historically hasn't had much for recreational infrastructure for people getting into the outdoors. So we have lots of ideas. We're all volunteer board, busy with life and jobs, and this grant from ACF is super valuable for us in our strategic planning process. And we're excited to see where we go from here. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Robbie Mixon, and I am the Executive Director for the Alaska Food Policy Council. And we have been very lucky to been awarded and received 2 grants from the Alaska Community Foundation that have really helped our organization grow and spread. Our first grant we received was a COVID relief grant that allowed us to take our every 18-month conference virtual. So what you're seeing here is our logo from our 2020 event, and we carried that experience into our 2022 conference and had even greater participation. So thank you for that. And then finally, we received a capacity building grant, and we are working on that now. And it will create a financial and strategic plan for our next 5 years of operations. So thank you very much. Thanks for everything y'all do.
Thank you so much for joining us today. For those able to donate, please scan one of the QR codes and give to one of the funds listed. Your support is invaluable and greatly appreciated.
My name is Natalie Kate Carrig, and I am a recipient of the Alaska Community Foundation Scholarship. I am in the Associate Degree of Nursing program at Alaska Pacific University and currently set to graduate in December of 2023. The ACF scholarship has been impactful to me and my family in many ways. First off, I am a first-generation student to go to college and to pursue a career in nursing. I had a major setback that pushed my nursing school graduation date by 1 full year. Over this past winter in February 2022, I fractured my tibia and fibula on my left leg, otherwise known as the lower leg bones, by slipping on the ice in my driveway. It was such a major injury that I needed surgery and was not capable of attending my required clinicals at the hospital. I was put into a cast and to be on crutches for 2 months as I recovered. Another 2 months of recovery was used to be for physical therapy and learning how to properly walk again. I lost much time that could have been used to continue working and to save for upcoming semesters. I applied for so many other scholarships I was qualified for while on bed rest, but was unfortunately denied for each of them. When being informed that I won the ACF scholarship, I felt so much relief and blessed that the rest of my college education is covered. I could not thank the donors of the ACF scholarship more, and I will forever cherish this award. Thank you so much for making dreams possible.
We greatly appreciate the Alaska Community Foundation support through the Strengthening Organizations Grant, because it has allowed us to partner with a great organization, Care Profiler, that provides an assessment called the Deeper Way. ADW has allowed us to further develop our staff in a variety of ways. This assessment is really based on creating a sense of belonging, helping team members understand their strengths, their talents, and how they can best serve their clients. By developing those team members, creating better teams, creating better staff, and providing opportunities for that development to continue by training multiple facilitators that we'll have in-house who will be able to do this for years to come.
A recent grant for the Alaska Community Foundation's Social Justice Fund helped the Alutiiq Museum work with Alutiiq artists to create marketing materials and develop an Alutiiq art authentication program.
Through the Alutiiq Seal program, artists of Alutiiq heritage can register with the Alutiiq Museum and receive a tag for their work. The Alutiiq Seal is a mark of authenticity. Since the program began 2 years ago, 50 Alutiiq artists have enrolled. The program is free and open to any adult artist of Alutiiq heritage.
Today, these 50 Alutiiq artists are using their Alutiiq Seal tags wherever they sell their work, promoting the value of handcrafted native art across Alaska. Shoppers can now identify the work of Alutiiq artists and be assured that they are purchasing a genuine piece. There is no substitute for the real thing.
Kuyana to the Alaska Community Foundation for supporting Alutiiq artists.